Joyma. Here you would find two young women, Melita, Miss Melita and Miss Blanka, one from Germany for political disaster and another from Austria for her family disaster. Daring Melita escaped from Nazi detention camp and became journalist as well as novelist, and theosophist Blanka searching for ideological teachings right from Jiddu Krishnamurti, Ramana Maharshi to the end, the teachings of Anandamayi. Miss Blanka was 12 years senior than Miss Melita. Amazingly, both came from different streams, but miraculously visited Ma Anandamayi and surrendered at her lotus feet for their lifetime. This is the episodes of spiritual power. Here Ma Anandamayi and Atmananda, Miss Blanka. You would find here tragic life history of the Austrian lady Blanka and her delighted life with Ma Anandamayi. How a beautiful Austrian family was destroyed and Miss Blanka was the only survivor at the lotus feet of Ma Anandamayi. Ms. Blanka came from Austrian aristocrat wealthy family. She was born on 7th June 1904 in Vienna, the capital of Austrian Empire, which at that time included Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia and Poland, etc. Her mother's family came from Czechoslovakia and her father from Poland. Before the First World War, Vienna was capital of Central European Empire with a very rich cultural and intellectual life. After the war, the Central European Empire was dismantled by the victorious Allies and a poverty-stricken Austria was the result. As a small country. Thus, Blanka's family became so poor. It's tragic days that when Blanka's sister was born, then her mother died. At that time, Blanka was only 2 years old. Blanka and her sister were then looked after by their maternal grandmother. In this wonderful lady's life, there had been many tragedies as she had lost her husband and her 7 children. So her inherent love and kindness were then poured upon these 2 beautiful little grandchildren. She kept her house for them and for their father. Blanka and her sister found sunny days with their father, took care of them with beautiful dresses, study books, good tutoring by home teachers, music lessons, and even took them at concerts and operas at their young age. However, when Blanka was only 8 years old, she exposed her outstanding musical talent. She studied many literatures, especially by Russian authors like Tolstoy, Chekhov, Dostoevsky, etc. She endeavored to live by her ideals. But ill fate pursued this small beautiful family from the beginning and ultimately Blanka's sister was died at only 17 years old by diphtheria. Blanka was very much upset and decided to sacrifice her life for the downtrodden people as her departed sister worked with the children during her lifetime at only 17. Searching for inner peace, Blanka came to India on her first trip when she was only 21. For a short time, to attend a theosophical convention during celebration of 50th anniversary of the Theosophical Society at its headquarters in Adyar, Tamil Nadu, India in December 1925. Though earlier Blanka had joined the Vienna branch of Theosophical Society, originally founded by Russian Blavatsky and other U.S.A. and others in U.S.A. in 1875. However, Dr. Annie Besant was president of the Theosophical Society from 1907 to 1933 in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, and her adopted son Jiddu Krishnamurti was a teacher at Theosophical Society of India in 1911 and left in 1929 because of differences with the teaching methods and started an experimental school situated at Rajghat, Varanasi, India, for the students and teachers to live according to his philosophy. At that time, Blanka was invited to join as a teacher in 1935. Blanka felt it's compulsory to come back in India. Her grandmother was left alone in Vienna because Blanka's father rarely then stayed at home. It was very sad for Blanka and her grandmother to leave each other. However, Blanka came in India and did wonderful teachings at Rajghat School in Varanasi, also having deep friendships with others. However, on 17th May 1942, Blanka visited Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi at Tiruvannamalai, South India, hoping that Ramana Maharshi would be able to give her some teachings for her peace of mind, which failed by Jiddu Krishnamurti's teachings. Blanka lived there for about 6 weeks and felt peace and power of the higher self, visited Arunachal mountain and had various visions and dreams. She greatly benefited from the experiences she had been there at Tiru. This is Blanka sisters, with sisters. This is Ms.BLANKA. This is the founder of THEOSOPHIST, Annie Besant. Annie Besant. Annie Besant also dedicated for this Theosophist Society of India. But her adopted son Jiddu Krishnamurti betrayed with her and separated from her and made his own teaching school at Rajghat. Dr. Annie Besant is very well known in India for her works. The campus of the schools at Rajghat, Varanasi. This is Jiddu Krishnamurti. Jiddu Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti Foundation, India, Basant Bihar. A book written by Jittu Krishnamurti. This is Ms. Blanka with her teaching staff. Ms. Blanka with some people, local people. Ms. Blanka at her middle age. Ms. Blanka with her colleagues in the garden. Theosophical Society at Deer, Tamil Nadu. Ramana Maharshi Ashram at Tiruvannamalai. Beautiful ashrams. So many foreigners are coming every year. I also visited in 2020. Especially here in November, I think the Deepam festival is very much famous. And from all over the world, the devotees are coming here and meditating here. Very peaceful place. Inside campus, peacocks are moving on. Very beautiful, peaceful area. Ms. Blanka with devotees of Ramana Maharshi in the mountain. Ms. Blanka with Ramana Maharshi inside campus of the ashrams. During Deepam festival. At Almora Ashram in summer 1943, whilst Blanka was at the hill station in Almora, Uttarakhand, India, she was asked by a friend to visit Anandamayi. At that time, Ma was there with her some devotees. On visiting, Ma addressed a few words to Blanka in Bengali language, which was not understandable by Blanka, but Blanka noticed and was impressed by Ma's joys and beauty, also the inward beauty and purity. Afterwards, she went to Rajghat school and after some time she left for differences with Jittu Krishnamurti. Later on, at last, Blanka found her searching goal for her inner peace, and she found Ma Anandamayi as her most inner peace land. So she met Ma on 24th March 1954. Blanka started to live with Ma and moved with Ma to other branches of her ashrams in India. However, Ma allowed her to adopt the garb of a sannyasini in 1957, and her name Blanka was thus changed as Swami Atmananda by Ma when she sent her to Goa for offering her pinda rituals. When she came back from Goa, Ma made a special kriya for Atmananda, which authorized her to be given Jal Samadhi, means Nildhara. After her death, means her lifeless body would be immersed at Ganga river. However, the role which Atmananda had played for 32 years with Ma ashrams, as she was fluent in German, French and other continental languages. She was in close touch with the authors of the publications on Ma in Europe and U.S.A. Atmananda was responsible for editing, printing and publication of Ma's diary in English version of Ananda Varta, quarterly journal of Ma Ashram, since its inception in 1954. Besides, she edited a good numbers of English books on Ma. She published the beautiful books on Ma, As the Flowers Sheds Its Fragrance, in 1983, and Words of Sri Sri Ma Annamayi Matilila in 3 volumes in the first hand, covering the period from 1952 to 1962, and the next volume from 1962 to 1972, and the final volume from period from 1972 to 1982. Atmananda actively engaged herself in editing the English translation of Mati Darshan Leela by Sri D.P. Mukherjee. However, she was a good singer on Ma's Kirtan, and in spite of her prolonged suffering from cataract, she heroically carried out her never-ending task whenever she could obtain decent light. Atmananda surrendered absolutely at the lotus feet of Ma, and obeying wishes of Ma, welcoming foreigners to ashrams rules, welcoming foreigners to Ma. She was their teacher till they understood all the ashram rules and formalities, etc. She lived in India about 50 years. She was known as Sister Blanka to all ashramites until Ma initiated her with Brahmachary rites and arranged for wearing saffron robes as an esteemed and immensely respected sannyasini of the ashram. However, during her living at her Kalyanban Kutia at Ma Ashram Dehradun, Uttarakhand, India, in the last week of September 1985, Atmananda was suffering from bronchitis and she was very weak, refused to take foods even. At that time, she sought her desire to go to Varanasi Ashram for having care by the ashramites there. Meanwhile, Dr. Srivastava with Swami Vijayananda visited her and tried for railway reservation tickets, but the tickets for 4 people were not available on that very night, so transfer to Varanasi was thus cancelled. On that very night at 11:30 p.m., Dr. Srivastava pushed her an injection to support her heart and BP. In the meantime, her German friend Melita Messman stayed with her bedside overnight. But unfortunately, next morning on 24 September 1985, at about 9:15 a.m., Atmananda left her body for heavenly abode in spite of all efforts for her treatment. She died by diphtheria, in which her beloved young sister died at the age of 17 only. However, her eternal body was brought by road transport from Dehradun to Ma Samadhi temple at Kankal, Haridwar, Uttarakhand, India for preparation of Jal Samadhi, as Ma confirmed by her wishes. She was decorated with rose garlands and arti was performed before journey to Nildhara, which is called as immersion in the Mother Ganga, and her inner body was escorted by many ashramites. However, on 9th October 1985, 16 days after her Jal Samadhi, in her honor, a special puja was offered at Ma's Samadhi, and Kumari Puja was done with 108 teenage girls. A special prasad was offered to many saints as well as to local poor people. Atmananda with Mahanumi at the rooftop of Varanasi Ashram. Here Atmananda in the Kalyanman Kutia during her lifetime. Atmananda with Vijayananda and one Indian here. Death must die. This is the biography of Atmananda written by Ram Alexander. This is Kalyanman Kutia where Atmananda was lived for years. Kumari Puja at Kankal in honor of Atmanandaji. 108 teenage girls were sit, and after that Sadhu Bhandara was offered. This is the last will of Atmananda for her Jal Samadhi. The background songs by Acharya Mangalananda and his team, who was close disciple of Mahanumi, having so many YouTube videos on Mahanumi, beautiful voice. Acharya Mangalananda came in 2019 at Kankal Samadhi Temple and visited Ma Museum also here in the bookshop where I was there.